Am I the a-hole for embarrassing my parents for forgetting my birthday? I, F33, just had my birthday last week. The only problem is that no one in my family remembered. My maternal grandfather passed away about a month ago and my entire family, mom, dad, and 2 younger brothers, flew back to my mother's home country for the funeral. I, unfortunately, could not go as I've only recently started a new job. I wasn't particularly close to my grandfather, so I wasn't too upset about staying behind. My family was gone for a total of 22 days and we FaceTimed and stayed in constant communication during their trip. I think it's great that my mom got to reconnect with family and that my brothers got a chance to meet everyone. They got back last Wednesday and have been readjusting due to jet lag since then, understandably. My birthday was last Friday, 2 days after they got back. TBH, I wasn't expecting more than birthday wishes from everyone, but the day passed without a word from anyone. Was I annoyed? Sure. But I wasn't too upset. I'm not the biggest birthday person. I ended up having a nice birthday dinner with my boyfriend and a few friends. All hell broke loose Saturday afternoon when I got a really angry phone call from my dad. I guess my boyfriend did a special IG post for me and my brothers saw it and showed my parents. I had no idea he did this as he isn't a big poster. Anyway, I could hear my mom crying in the background while my dad laid into me saying that they were sorry they forgot, but not saying anything and then posting about it online was passive-aggressive and mean. I told him that I wasn't upset and that I didn't think a 33rd birthday was that big a deal anyway. He said a few more things before abruptly ending the call. I didn't hear from my family the rest of the weekend. Today, Monday, I woke up to a bunch of notifications. I guess my mom did a Facebook post talking about ungrateful kids and how I ruined their surprise party for me and tagged me. My extended family seemed to agree that I was a jerk. I've tried calling my mom, but she didn't answer, so I posted my own reply and said you guys forgot and no one wished me a happy birthday unless you count dad calling and yelling at me. Both of my parents have been calling all morning, but I don't want to take their calls yet. Am I the a-hole? Update. My boyfriend's post, he had no idea that my parents hadn't acknowledged my birthday until my dad called. I never mentioned it because, again, I wasn't angry. The post was just a picture of us at the restaurant with my birthday cheesecake. The caption verbatim was, "Blessed to see you make another trip around the sun. I love you." There was no mention of anything else. I also wasn't aware of the post until my dad called about it. This is very out of character for either of my parents, which is why I'm not going to go no contact. The way everything escalated is bizarre, but it gives me a better understanding of the situation. Hopefully it will for everyone else as well. On to the update. After everything happened yesterday, I told my boyfriend about the FB thing and he agreed that I should just not deal with it for the day. I turned my phone off and just chilled out. Around 6 p.m. my boyfriend got a text from my brothers asking if they could come by because they wanted to see me and bring me the candy they brought back for me. I agreed and they came over, along with my parents. At this point, I was annoyed to see my parents, but we let everyone in. My boyfriend made sure I was all right, and took my brothers out back so I could be alone with my parents. My mom started crying immediately and sobbed out an "I'm sorry." I don't know about you, but seeing my mom cry started to make me cry. My dad then explained what happened. Apparently they absolutely forgot about my birthday, again understandable. My paternal aunt had come over on Saturday to see my parents. It's worth noting that she does not like my mom for whatever reason. Since he's been around for last 4 years, my boyfriend follows my brothers and a few of my cousins and vice versa. My cousin saw the post, showed my aunt and she asked my mom how my birthday went. Side note, my extended family did reach out to wish me happy birthday, they just didn't know my family forgot. I guess my mom was caught out and my aunt went in on her being a bad mother and all that and saying at least I have my boyfriend. My dad got upset, told my aunt to leave and said they already had something planned, they didn't. That's when he called me. They never saw the post, and I was wrong thinking my brothers showed them. My dad said he felt awful for yelling at me and apologized, but explained that he hated seeing his wife so upset. They took the weekend to cool down, but as many of you guessed, my mom tried to save face via FB. She explained that she didn't think I would see it since I'm not usually on. What she didn't realize is that when she typed my name in the post, my username populated, thus tagging me. She was shocked and embarrassed when I responded and started getting calls and texts from the extended family. She came clean to my dad about it, and that's when they tried calling, but I wouldn't answer. My mom looked very distraught, and I just told her that everything was okay and that I'm sorry that I responded the way I did. It's evident that she's taking her father's passing extremely hard, and I don't want to pile more onto her. Now's not the time. My dad said it was few days late, but he'd love to order pizza and just hang out. I agreed. My boyfriend and brothers came inside, and we spent a few hours listening to stories about my grandfather and my mom's childhood. It's definitely a birthday I won't forget, but I guess all's well that ends well. I would like to point out that we do not like my dad's sister. She's an awful person, but my cousins are amazing, so my dad tolerates her. My mom can usually handle herself around my aunt, but she's in a really vulnerable state, which is how this escalated. I'll probably talk to her about again, just not anytime soon. Also, thank you for the birthday wishes. Am I the a-hole for not being grateful for my birthday surprise? I have been crying for hours yesterday and today, receiving texts on how I am ungrateful. This just doesn't make sense to me. I am trying to see the good intentions, but call me blind because I don't see any. I have never had a birthday party or dinner, and it is something that I have always wanted, but I don't know why I always thought it was unattainable in my adult life. I was talking to my friend and telling her how my family never celebrates birthdays because my dad is really religious and how I always feel lonely on my birthday. She asked me why I didn't celebrate my birthday now that I was an adult, and I thought, yeah, why don't I celebrate myself now that I am grown? I planned myself a birthday dinner at a fancy restaurant and told everyone that as long as they kept their order under $35, I would pay for it. So I made sure to work overtime for 3 months in advance because I heard there is always a fight about the bill, so I didn't want that to be a reason for conflict on my birthday. I invited 12 people that said they would come, family and friends, which include my mom. Now that my dad is dead, she is no longer super religious for some reason. Yesterday I had my nails, makeup, and hair done professionally. I just wanted to look really nice, and I have actually only been to formal events like 3 times in my life, so I was happy to be able to dress up nicely for once. I got to my dinner, sat at my table, and waited 2 hours, and I kept getting calls from people, telling me they were running late to not being able to come anymore. And after 2 hours, everyone finally told me they were not coming. They didn't tell me before the dinner, they were all telling me at the time of reservation or later. The waiter felt so bad because I was crying while I was on the phone with someone I considered to be my friend, telling me she wasn't coming for me and that even though I didn't order a meal, he gave me a free birthday slice. I didn't even get any pictures in my outfit because I thought someone would help take them for me at the restaurant, and by the time I left the restaurant, my makeup was ruined. My mom called me on my way home and asked me to stop at her house because she had a present for me. She says she is sorry she didn't come, but she was feeling extremely unwell, and she wanted to have a present at least. I go to her house, and I open the door to a surprise, and people see that my face was messed up because I had been crying, so someone says, she thought we forgot her, and I look at the 12 people that were invited to my dinner and am just disappointed that they traded what I wanted for my birthday for this. They left me stranded and humiliated at a restaurant for hours. I left the surprise party after 5 minutes and just told my mom to keep her present to herself. I am sorry, but am I the a-hole for not seeing a good intention here? Am I overreacting? Am I the a-hole for refusing to give my niece what she wants for her birthday? Yesterday, we had a big family gathering, which meant my older sister, 29, and her daughter, 6, came over. For half of the day, everything was well and good. After lunch, my sister got tired, so I, 27F, volunteered to look after my niece when my sister took a nap. Now, I have a collection of stuffed animals and 20 centimeters, 7.8 inches for those in America, dolls, which I let my niece played with when her mother napped. Then my sister woke up, joined us, and we spent some more time together before she announced it was time for them to leave. This was when my niece pointed at the doll I was holding and said she liked him, and that she wanted me to give him to her. I told her that she could get any other doll and/or stuffed animals that she wanted from my collection, just not this one. My niece got really upset and started crying, saying that her birthday was coming, it's next week, and she wanted that doll as her birthday present. Again, I told her I couldn't give him to her, explaining to her he was very important to me. I didn't tell my niece in detail about why he is important to me, because she's still too young to understand, but I will explain it here to give a clearer picture. I've had this doll for a long while now, back in the darkest time of my life, when nothing seemed to go right for me. I was advised to find an outlet, letting out my thoughts either in the form of writing or drawing. One of my drawings was the design for the doll in this post. I spent a lot of time with it, shading it, coloring it and all that. Then I got the idea of turning the drawing into something physical. I searched, and eventually found someone I trusted that could help me with this. For months, we worked together, choosing the materials, fabrics, and threads to make my doll's body, hair and eyes. A lot of money was spent. But the process helped my mind be in a better place, and the result was so worth it. I was so happy the day I had him in my hands, and since then, he has been my emotional support doll. I don't know if it's strange, but whenever I look at him, I just feel like I can overcome everything. So yes, he's very important to me. My sister told me maybe it was time for me to let go of him. Again, I told them I could give my niece any other dolls and stuffed animals she wanted, just not this one. My niece cried harder and started screaming. My sister told me I was being an overgrown child, that I needed to act my age and stop clinging to a toy. It ended with her leaving with my still crying niece, telling me that I needed to prioritize my family over a doll. Am I the a-hole?